The problem here is that I am known as Mr. Consistency, right? I am the guy who is here literally every single day streaming. I'm the one who puts out tons of content. If I'm not available to do that, that changes everything. And now people might be like, oh, well, now Phil's not consistent anymore. Now I'm not going to watch him. That's not fair. Urban style individual.
What's up with y'all? Hopefully this video finds you in good spirits, and if not, well, at least you not DSP. And in this video, I want to highlight Phil's overwhelming reliance on his dents. I like to call it dent dependency, because throughout the course of this video, you're going to see that that is what his real concern is, potentially losing a portion of his audience because of these upcoming Comcast outages. So let's get into it.
Okay, so folks, here's the deal. Before we get to Q&A and everything, here's the deal. This morning, a fan of mine reached out to me. Now, of course, you have to understand that whenever I get a message from a fan, I got to take it with a grain of salt. And what I mean by that is I don't know if it's real or not. It could be completely fake, or it could actually be a real fan who's concerned.
What that translates into is I more than likely made this up, or it's not real. And if it is a fan or a foe, it does not matter, because what they're saying is going to help me perpetuate my narrative. So I'm going to talk about it because it's beneficial to me.
And who just wants to help, because I've had both. All right. But what I'd like to do, I'd like to share with you a message that a fan sent me this morning in regards to this Comcast upgrade that's going to start happening as of this Thursday, the 25th. Okay? Ready?
Now, this is just a pet peeve of mine, but it really is irritating when he does the, are you guys ready? You ready? You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like a early childhood, like a teacher that's in like kindergarten or early childhood development talking to a small child or a group of small children, prepping them to do something very simple, like come up to the chalkboard and draw a smiley face or something. You know, it's just something that's irritating to me.
Hey, ready? So here we go. Hey, Phil, I've been debating sending you this email because I don't want to stress you out anymore or anything, because this could be a pretty stressful information for you. Great. That's a great way to start a message, isn't it? Okay.
They more than likely framed it like that because they know every time you hear something, especially when you don't understand it, you flip out. So that's them putting a disclaimer out there for you to relax first. But I'm going to let them continue.
Okay, let's continue. I had the same exact Comcast network upgrades in my area a few months ago. So it sounds to me like Comcast is actually doing this network-wide across the country. It's actually not even Comcast that does these upgrades. It's subcontracted out to another company that does all the work. So what that means is these are not even going to be Comcast workers that are doing the work. They're hiring a crew who probably are used to like laying out new lines, whatever it is, and they're going to be doing all the work. So it's not under the regular scope of Comcast work.
It is under the scope of Comcast work. But if they are doing something nationwide, naturally they would not have the manpower to do it and still maintain the infrastructure that they currently have. So yes, they outsource it. This is commonplace in construction. This is not anything new, nor does this signal that something is off or wrong.
I'm not exaggerating when I say it was at least 6 weeks of internet outages. I missed the button. I wanted to play that one earlier, but I missed the button. 6 weeks. Okay, let me continue here. It wasn't out every day or anything like that. So basically it wasn't complete no internet, but rather it would cut in and out almost every day. There were some days when it was fine, completely no problems at all. And we actually had thought for a bit that the upgrades had been finished, only to find out the internet was out the next day. And it starts going in and out all day again. It's extremely frustrating. After we called Comcast, they told us they're doing nationwide upgrades to their network. It has to be done. There's no way to avoid it. They did eventually credit our neighbor $100 on their bill because he called them and hassled them on the phone for 2 hours about the internet being out for so long. I've never contributed or chatted in your streams, but I'm a years-long viewer, and I want to give you a heads up on what very well could possibly be coming your way this week, so you're able to adjust accordingly.
Now, I wanted that to play out so you can get the entire gist of what was being said in this so-called email from a quote-unquote fan. Because even though this person is trying to give Phil a heads up so he can have some type of contingency, it sends him into a tailspin because Phil's reaction to everything is to complain and beg more.
Okay? Now, for the record, I appreciate that this fan sent me this message. This is not, this now is going to make Phil be feeling bad and he shouldn't have sent it. No, I need to know this stuff. Because the sad fact is a company like Comcast is not being transparent. What Comcast should have done right up front is said, hey, FYI, we're upgrading the network in your area. This is not a one-day job. This could be weeks. We're going to keep in touch and let you know everything step by step. What they did do is they wanted me to confirm my phone number to say that they're supposedly going to be texting me to let me know exactly when the internet is going up and down.
Now, did y'all catch that? He just said that Comcast is not being transparent and he doesn't know what's going on. He followed that up by saying that Comcast asked directly for his personal cell phone number so they can text him and let him know what's going on. Did y'all catch that? Dude, what else would you have them do? They did, in my opinion, what is sufficient for the circumstances. There's nothing you can do about them working on the infrastructure that currently exists. But what they can do is keep you in the loop. I don't know what else you want for them, Phil.
They're supposed to, okay? But they never said anything about, this could be a 6-week ongoing process. Your internet is up and down and all around constantly. Because here's the deal. If that's the case, then I can't consistently stream, right?
Oh, well, you can't consistently beg. So what? And just because the scope of the project is says 6 weeks, that's probably for the whole entire region, right? And I don't know what they're calling a region, but I guarantee you the area that you're in, the area that you in will probably only be affected by a couple days. I seriously doubt that something like this is going to affect him constantly for 6 weeks.
And that's a huge problem. That's my business. As I've explained to all of you, the on-demand videos are not my major source of income anymore. The on-demand videos that I put on this channel do give me some revenue, some ad revenue, but it's just not even close to what I make on stream.
Everybody knows that. See, but here's the problem with that. You curating your quote unquote on-demand videos in a way that's digestible would make them more watchable. Therefore, that could be a built-in contingency for when things like this happen. But you've completely foregone the idea of actually putting any effort into your quote unquote on-demand videos. Therefore, nobody cares about them. So when you have situations like this, you don't have anything to lean back on outside of your parents. Because we know that's what you're going to do if the situation goes how you think it's going to go. You're going to call up Daddy Brunel and ask him for some more money. When what you should have been doing is making sure that the content, which is the same thing, is you're taking stuff from your stream and chopping it up. You just claimed the other day that you have the expertise to edit and you do your own thumbnail. So why are you not editing your on-demand videos, Phil? Which we know could be another decent source of income, but you are so accustomed to just begging your way out of things. And this is why I say this guy is too dent dependent, because anytime it comes time for him to problem solve or come up with a solution, his solution is what? Just to beg more.
The income that I get from YouTube and Kick is way more than what I make on the on-demand videos. So you might say, well, hey, if the internet's going to be down, you could just record offline and upload the videos and we'll watch later. Well, number one, how does it guarantee me that I'm even going to be able to upload these videos in a timely manner if the internet is going to keep going out? And number two, not everyone is going to say, I'm just going to watch the on-demand video. You guys are used to coming to streams.
He's so nervous and he acts as if, like, every time I upload a video, that's not me pressing upload at that moment. There's many ways to upload a video on YouTube. You can schedule them out so he can plan his uploads around these outages if he wants to. But he's going to act as if everything that he does is in the moment. Y'all remember a couple weeks ago when I left and I had to go, my little brother was having a wedding, right? And I had a video uploaded while I was gone. It's because I scheduled it to upload at a certain time. And Phil can do the exact same thing, but he's going to omit that, right? To act as if the only way he can do it is in real time. So this seems far more pressing than what it actually is.
A lot of people come to streams and they interact and they contribute because they can talk with me, because they can get that level of interaction. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all catch that? You see how he said it twice? Phil was actually nervous, man. And this is a far cry from, you know, the businessman who's been successful for 17 years in running and he can prove that he's a business and all this other stuff. Now, all of a sudden, it's doom and gloom. This dude is basically preemptively begging for something that he does or does not know is actually going to happen. He hasn't even let it happen yet. He's pre-complaining so he can eventually pre-beg. Just think about that.
So, this could be a huge problem for me. Now, here's the thing. There is one saving grace in this message that was sent to me. The saving grace is this. Did you hear what he said? He said, they are hiring contracted workers to do this upgrade. So what does that mean? It means that they're going to have a Jasper Kitty? Well, I'm going to have a Jasper Kitty. They're not going to have a Jasper Kitty. It means that they are going to have a set contract with set working hours and set work established for each day. You know what I'm saying? This is not, oh, it's our employees and we're paying them hourly. This is a set contract of work. Therefore, what I suspect will happen is that they will begin work at a certain time every day, and they're probably going to finish their work at a certain time every day.
How is that any different from what you call a regular quote unquote Comcast worker? Wouldn't they be working at a certain time and then end at a certain time too? He's trying to create this delineation between Comcast and the subcontractors because he don't fully understand how these things work. They are doing the manual labor of stripping and reinstalling new infrastructure. That's it. Okay? That's it. And while they're subcontracted, guess who they work for? Comcast. So they are Comcast employees. So stop with this nonsense.
And as this person is saying, the internet was never just totally out. It was down and up all day. So what that sounds like to me is there's going to be some days when I'll be able to stream no problem whatsoever as if nothing's wrong. But then there's going to be other days when basically the internet's going to be up and down all day, but at a certain time, their workday is going to end because that's what's in the contract. We'll work till 6 p.m. and then we're done, right? So if I can figure out the actual time that these guys stop working and the internet will be up and not going down and up all day, then I can maybe adjust my streaming. If this means that I need to start my late stream on the earlier side and go longer, like right now, my late stream starts around 7. We start playing games around 7:30 and I finish around 9:30, 10, right? What if they stop work around 5, 6 o'clock, I can start my stream around 5:30. We start gaming at 6 and we go till like 9:30, 10.
This is really a shame because this is stuff that he should be figuring out all behind the scenes. Nobody should even be hearing about this stuff. But the reason he's on screen talking about it because he wants his wells to communicate to him what times they would be available that is outside of their normal scheduled programming. That's really what this is about. He wants to ensure that the people who usually give him money will be able to be there at the streams. Phil, you cannot tell me this is not shades of a parasocial relationship.
So now at least every day I'm putting in a 3 to 4 hour stream. Even if the internet's down earlier, I still have the ability to go do a major stream and people could hopefully come by during that stream and support it. Okay. The truth is I cannot not work for a month and a half. So if Comcast thinks that's what they're going to do, they got another thing fucking coming. All right. Their internet has to at least work somewhat so that I can work. Because if I find in the first week that I can't work at all for a week, I'm going to be contacting them with a lawyer.
No, here we go. Lawyer side Phil, always talking about what he's going to do with this smug look on his face. Phil, you sound absolutely ridiculous. You need to go back and look at the tea leaves of your terms and service and look at what they call mediation, because you cannot sue Comcast because the service is out. I guarantee you, when you look at the fine print, they talk about how at any time service can be out for a number of different reasons, and you signed on saying that that was okay. Moreover, you also signed on saying that you would not take them to court because of it. You signed on to say that I would go to mediation, which means there may be a judge or a magistrate there, but they don't hold the power. That's the difference between a court proceeding and a mediation. In a court proceeding, the judge has all the power, but in a mediation, the parties have the power. The judge or the magistrate is just overseeing to ensure that things don't go out of control, right? So at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot that you can do about it besides what you're doing right now.
It's that simple. I'm not going to be out of business because Comcast doesn't know how to run their business, okay? Also, if this does happen, and if we're in a situation where the internet is not working for a week, I may have to look for another ISP. Now, I already did that 2 years ago, and there was nothing. There was nothing. The only thing available was like Starlink.
Here he goes again, contradicting himself in the very next sentence. Phil, the word nothing means what it means, nothing. How could you say you had no options and then you go on and tell us the option that you had? Furthermore, though, that is the piece that you have control over, is you getting another ISP. It's not Comcast's job to ensure that you can stream. People use the internet for a number of different reasons, and you don't have no contract with them saying that they have to give you some contingency or additional internet line so you never lose your service. What are you talking about, dude? You're not special. You are a gaming streamer, and a bad one at that. And in the grand scheme of things, the level of importance that you have is very minimal, because in the grand scheme of things, when we're talking about wants and needs, people like Darksydephil or things in the vein of a Darksydephil, like a Hulu or a Netflix, those are some of the things that get cut first when people are going back to what they need. All right. Understand that you are extra. And I'm talking about super extra. I'm talking about the whole cake is there. Icing's all on it. You know, streaming would be like the last cherry at the very top.
Okay. That was it. So I don't think Starlink's going to be any better. All right. Now, I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. But what I'm hoping is that it's not as bad as it's all being made out to be. If it's a few days and it's up and down, I get it. If it's a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, no, I'm not going to not work for 6 weeks, especially with this last year. Allow me to explain.
Before he gets into, you guys have made my life so great, because we already know where he's going. He's talking about he's not going to work for 6 weeks. Phil, nobody's stopping you from working. You can go get a job right now. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. And on top of that, you also have a cell phone. Why can't you just do a chill with Phil with your phone, right? Because your Dents so-called love you so much. And on top of that, YouTube has ways of people still giving you money without live streams. If you're so good, why don't those people that can't come to your stream just leave a super thanks on your video, Phil? It's because they are not there for the game or the content. They are there for the parasocial relationship, and you know that. And that's why you know that you need to be able to continue to stream so Pignosis can keep its strength, because it starts to wane the less you are here. And you know that. And that's really what he's panicking about.
This last year has been absolutely amazing. You guys have come out and supported me in droves. You've got me to a situation where things are going good, to the point where now I can start to save money. And I can actually start doing that. In my home this year, I fixed things that have been broken for a long time. I was able to improve my lifestyle.
And you just now doing that in your mid 40s, when you've had a job or what you call a business for the longest time that has basically no overhead. You're not in a facility somewhere where you're paying for an office space or a suite. You don't have employees where you're paying salaries and FICA and all these other things that go into paying employees. So where's all your money? This doesn't make sense. Phil, you should have 100K liquid that you can touch at any given time. The fact that you over here breaking down because you think you might not stream a couple days because the money's going to be shaky tells people everything they need to know about your financial situation. You live in stream to stream, bruh. It's obvious.
I'm not now going to go into debt to be able to pay things for a month and a half because I can't work because Comcast thinks they're going to take my internet down. No, that's not happening. Under no circumstance am I going to lose a month and a half of work and Comcast is going to get away with it. No. Okay? So let's see what happens. I'm hoping for the best. The thing is, I don't want to be drastic. I'm trusting what Comcast is saying, that they're going to keep me in the loop about when the internet will be up or down. All right. And if they say, oh, today your internet's probably going to be down all day, I'll let you guys know. And I'll say, listen, I can't stream during the day today. Maybe we'll try for a night stream. In the meantime, I'm still going to be working. I'm still going to be doing content. You understand? I will do content. Does it mean that I'll be able to play every single game I want to play in October? Maybe not. I don't know. The thing is, exactly, Stormforce Gamer just said in chat, all we can do is play it by ear. You're right. That's literally all I can do.
You know what, though? Something like this is good because somebody as stubborn and as hard-headed as Phil, he's not going to change until he absolutely has to, which means a culture shift, meaning everything around him has already changed and he's forced to change. And this could potentially be one of those scenarios where he would have to try to figure something out. Now, we know that he's going to default to begging more than trying to guilt trip and doom and gloom people into feeling sorry for him. But the truth is, Phil, you claim you're a big business owner and you got all this money, but every single time where you hit a crossroads, we see that the cards are not as stacked as you claim they are. You are living in a house of cards, and at any given time, a small, slight wind can come by and blow all this down.
Because I don't know what's going to happen. It could be that this is something that's done within a few days. It could be something that's ongoing for 6 weeks, but it also could be that we know the time frame. And if we know the timetable, if we know 9 a.m. the internet's going to go down and it's going to be iffy all day, but it'll be back by 6, then I'll start streaming at 6:30 and we'll be here for 3-4 hours every night consistently. And I'll just have to find other things to do during the day, whether it's a gameplay session and I upload on demand or if it's something else. But I'm going to be leaning heavily on hoping people show up to those streams that I can be here to support me, or else I'm out of business.
Bingo. And there it is. That's why I said he's hyper-focused on Pignosis wearing off while these things are going on. He's worried that this is going to cause instability in his schedule and people will go elsewhere. Tell the truth, Phil.
That's how serious this is. And with Comcast, I hope they understand that. I'm not going out of business because they want to upgrade their network. That's not how it works. Absolutely not.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to go out there and jump in front of the trucks and tell them, no, you have to stream today and you haven't hit your goal yet? Those are real men in those trucks, in those bucket trucks, wearing those boots and those jeans and those harnesses, carrying those tools. Phil, that's not somebody that you want to be dealing with. They're going to look at you like a little child. You might get your feelings hurt, as well as hurt for real. Stay in your place.
So here's what's going to happen. I am not going to stream Thursday because that's supposed to be the first day that this is going down. All right. I'll try to keep you all in the loop. My expectation is I will be back on Friday with Sonic Racing Crossworlds Premiere and Silent Hill F. Okay? That's my expectation. I'll be here on Friday. Now, if the internet is going up and down and up and down, and maybe we try to stream, and if it doesn't consistently work, what can I do? I could keep trying and just keep gaming and playing, right? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, it does. And people just have to understand that you're watching the stream. It may go down for an hour, and then come back for an hour, and then go down for an hour. And we just have to be okay with that.
See, this is your problem with not diversifying your portfolio, Phil. This is your problem with having such a heavy reliance on the game carrying the burden of entertainment for you. Not only that you don't have a game as a backdrop or potentially have a game as a backdrop, you don't really have anything else that you could fall back on. This is why you should have been vlogging your Phil's day offs and you going to the grocery store. Your Dents will love stuff like that. But you've, put yourself into this corner where, I'm just a variety streamer who does gaming. But really, there really is no real variety on DSP gaming. It's the same old thing. You have not diversified enough to where you can lean into something that people can look to and say, look, I know he plays games, but he's pretty good at that too. So I'm willing to watch it.
All right. Or it could be I just don't stream during the day and I try to stream at night when they're done doing the messing with the lines. So let's see. Again, we can't actually fully plan for this. I'm flexible. If I need to adjust my time that I do stuff, I will do that. All right.
You don't have no choice. You dent dependent. Whatever time they tell you that you need to be on, that's what you're going to do because, like I said before, you've limited your options based on your attitude, right? Nobody wants to work with you. You don't even have a collab that you can do or any alternative, really. You know, we know what it is. It's gaming and begging, and not necessarily in that order.
All right, I will. But I need you guys to understand. I'm going to probably make a special video to explain this and make it a separate video than just this podcast. I need people to know what's going on. The problem here is that I am known as Mr. Consistency, right? I am the guy who is here literally every single day streaming. I'm the one who puts out tons of content. If I'm not available to do that, that changes everything. And now people might be like, oh, well, now Phil's not consistent anymore. Now I'm not going to watch him. That's not fair.
Did you hear that? He said, I'm Mr. Consistency. If people are not here, they said that people might go watch someone else. And he says that that's not fair. As if people owe you viewership or something. Phil, if you're not here, there's so many alternatives to you. Of course, you're going to get left in the dust. And that's what he's scared about. Look at his face. Look at his face. This man said he would go out of business and that his audience will be watching other people. So is he mad at Comcast? Sure. But he's really upset about the uncertainty that it creates in his business model.
I'm here. The internet, that's the problem, not me. Okay? So let's see what happens. I don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom. I don't want to be, oh God, that's also why I'm not saying, hey, definitely we're doing the marathon this weekend. I want to do the marathon this Saturday.
Did this man just say he's not Mr. Doom and Gloom? Then what was these last like 10 or 15 minutes about then? This is why I said in the beginning, watch how he flip-flops all over the place. And this is why I know that he is filled with anxiety right now. He is filled with uncertainty right now. He really doesn't know how this is going to go. Now imagine your whole life hinging on other people that you do not know. Now he can talk all he wants about 9-to-5 workers and what they have to do, but you, to a large degree, have control over your life. You have stability. You know what's going to happen next. He doesn't. Look at him.
Okay, I do, but I can't guarantee it. All right, I can't. I tell you tentatively, let's say that this Saturday, which is September 26th, no, the 27th, Saturday the 27th. Let's say tentatively that's the worst games ever marathon. But understand that may not happen. Understand it may be up and down, and it would suck if it does, but what can I do? All right? I'm going to try to keep, unlike previously where I would lose my cool and I would go crazy and I would say doom and gloom, the sky is falling. I'm going to try to keep a level head. All right?
So you saying that you're going to call Comcast with a lawyer is you keeping a level head? The things that they said they were going to do haven't even started yet, and you're presumptively losing your mind. Yet you're going to keep a level head. This is another example of Phil saying something, and he thinks that because he said it, it overrides what you're actually seeing. It's crazy.
All right, I am. I'm going to try to be calmer and say, let's approach this very fairly, matter-of-factly. Listen, Comcast eventually needs to update their infrastructure. It's necessary for the business. Does it suck that they have no redundancies so to protect the consumers from losing internet? Yes. Is that a problem? Yes. Just last year, someone climbed a phone pole and cut an internet line, and we didn't have internet for a day.
That doesn't have anything to do with Comcast. That has everything to do with somebody being an idiot. What would you like them to do? Have a sentry out there walking around and patrolling every single telephone pole or pole that they have out there? Like, come on, dude, this is ridiculous.
There's no redundancies to protect someone from simply doing that? No. Oh, why would you have that, right? I mean, that would actually be good customer support and experience and good service. They don't have that. It's just, well, bare minimum to get it working, and if it doesn't work, well, fuck you.
No, what it means is things in the public are subject to the public. You go to a park or roads or businesses, especially in rough neighborhoods, you know, they might have graffiti on them because they out in the public. That's just how it is. That's what comes with that. It's ridiculous for you to think that they should have something in place to prevent people from cutting wires. How many people are cutting wires on a daily basis, Phil? Because this is a numbers thing. If it was happening at a high clip, then naturally they would have some type of plan to stop it from happening, right? But it's something that's happening few and far between. So why would they incorporate that into their budget? It doesn't make sense.
Well, fuck them. They're going to have a rude awakening. I got into a certain point in my life where I'm just tired of being pushed around.
And now we're back to the victim. Now I told you he was flip-flopping all over the place in this video, didn't I? Didn't I tell y'all? Now he's getting tired of pushed around. He has internalized this so much that he's made it personal. He thinks that people are at Comcast coming together in a conglomerate to conspire against darksydephil. And this is the day that their grand scheme finally comes together. Phil, you're not that important, dude. I guarantee you most of the people at Comcast don't even know who you are.
You know, like when you have an employee who literally is maliciously going inside of my cable modem without my permission, which is illegal, is changing the name of all my wireless networks and turning them on, which is illegal, is resetting my modem without my permission, which is illegal. And this goes on for a period of 2 years, and we have documented evidence that it did. And I didn't do anything about it at that time.
So this is him acting as if Comcast does not move at the speed that he would like them to, he's going to use past transgressions against him, against them. Phil, that's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. All Comcast can do about the guy who was messing with your modem is what they did, is got rid of them. And you just said that you got all the information, right? So it's on you to go do something with that information. Comcast is not the justice system, bruh.
And that person went on Kiwi Farms and posted up all the evidence that it really happened. So I didn't even have to lift a finger because it actually is posted on Kiwi Farms right now. All the evidence that they did it.
Okay, so take the evidence, go get you an attorney and go sue that person or go try to prosecute that person or whatever you claim that you're going to do. Because Comcast is not going to do anything about that, and you trying to sue Comcast about something that happened a couple years ago is ridiculous. No lawyer's going to take that case.
So you get to a point where it's like, no, I'm not going to be pushed around. I understand. If the internet has to be up and down for a while, I get it. Well, I'm not going to go out of business. All right? I'm not.
You might. You might. I would imagine so if Comcast was actually out in your area for 6 weeks, which I do not foresee. I know you're panicking and trying to take the most extreme path to make yourself look like a victim like you usually do. But in the grand scheme of things, Phil, in this situation, you really have no power. You don't. And in most situations, you have no power. This is just you bloviating like you usually do, trying to make yourself feel better about a situation that you have no control over.
And I'm not going to sit here and freak out about it. I'm not going to be like, oh my God. What I'm going to say is, let's play it by ear. This week, let's have a normal week. Let's enjoy Chronos and Silk Song. Let's enjoy Silent Hill F for 2 days. Let's have a great 3 days, all right? Great 3 normal days where everything is good and everything is working fine, all right? And then let's see how things go starting on Thursday. Now, I won't be here Thursday. I'm taking the day off on purpose. Let's see. If I come back on Friday and it's up and down, it sucks, but what can you do, right? Hopefully, like I said, we can have an established time when the internet will actually be working, even if it's later. And then I could at least consistently do 1 stream a day during the time when all this is going on. I hope, fingers crossed, right? So let's see what happens.
Phil is a digital bum who put all his eggs into one basket. And now he's panicking because he has absolutely no control over what's going to happen next. He can't go grab a line of credit. He more than likely cannot go ask his parents for more money. And Cat works at a department store. So here we are. Look at his face. Is that somebody who look like a successful business owner? Is that somebody who looks like they're certain about what's going to happen next? Not to me, but you be the judge.
Okay? Let's figure it out together. Let's not freak out. Let's not lose our cool or our minds. Let's just play it and Oh, I accidentally misclicked. I'm sorry, Muckman. I misclicked you. I did not mean to do that. There, I've fixed that. Sorry about that, Muckman. Okay. All right. So when I have more information, I'll let you know. If I get any updates, if I hear anything, I will let you know. Okay. But in the meantime, excuse me, there's not anything I can really do. It's not in my power. I want to be here. I can't be if this is happening. I will just keep you in the loop on everything. All right? And we'll work together to figure this out. Fingers crossed.
Now, what does he mean when he says we're going to figure this out together? What really can the Dents do to assist you in this situation aside from giving you money? What this really is a psychological play to make them feel like they are a part of what's happening to him. So when he eventually comes through on the other side, they can feel triumphant with him, even though he knows he's fabricating a lot of this. Because this whole rant is based on stuff that he think is going to happen. He's suspecting they might happen, but he does not know. Okay? So once again, this is Phil having a meltdown because all he had to do was say, look, in the coming weeks or the coming days, there might be some instability. You know, I might have to shift some things around in the schedule, but it's okay. We're going to get through this next week. It's going to be a little rocky. We didn't need to hear about lawyers and I might go out of business and all this other stuff. Like, it's completely unnecessary. And all you're doing is putting this humongous mental burden on your viewers, man. Seriously. Every time they tune into you, they're talking about the next bad thing that's about to happen to you. And like I say, you don't even know if it's something bad that's going to happen. You're preemptively begging and you're preemptively dooming things so people will feel sorry for you. And the truth is, this is all your fault because you don't have a plan. And I was always told, if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. And Phil is keynote at that. He does that on a consistent basis. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Urban style content. I'm dead.